It is time for Sarah's Wiki Corner. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. What are we learning about today in your Wiki Corner?
Well, today was a big day in history.
Oh, all right.
Because it was on July 7th of 1928 that pre-sliced bread made its commercial debut at the Chillicothe Baking Company in Chillicothe, Missouri.
Wait, 1928?
In 1928.
So my grandparents were around for years before there was sliced bread.
Yes.
Holy cow.
It was the very first time that...
So, and they said, it's a great, best thing since sliced bread.
It's the best thing since 1928.
They knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Because go on.
Yeah. So it was the first time that sliced bread was available commercially in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So a guy named Otto Frederick Rowitter of Davenport, Iowa, invented the first single loaf bread slicing machine.
Davenport, Iowa.
He was a jeweler by trade, and he owned 3 jewelry stores in St. Joseph, Missouri. He used his work with watches and jewelry to invent new machines. Convinced he could develop a bread slicing machine, he sold his jewelry stores to fund the development effort and manufacture the machines.
Okay.
He went all in. However, a 1917 fire destroyed his prototype and blueprints, and he also faced a lot of skepticism from bakers who thought factory-sliced loaves would quickly go stale or fall apart.
Tell them to sit down and be quiet and let this guy do it. Let him cook, as the kids say.
So in 1927, he successfully designed a machine that not only sliced the bread, but wrapped it also.
This guy.
He applied for patents to protect his invention and sold the very first machine to a friend and baker named Frank Bench, who installed it at the Chillicothe Baking Company in 1928. They sold their first slices on July 7th of that year, and their product was called Clean Made Sliced Bread. Clean with a K, Clean Made.
Oh.
And it proved to be a huge success. By 1933, around 80% of bread sold in the U.S. was pre-sliced, and for the first time, American bakeries were producing more sliced than unsliced bread loaves.
What a turn. Mm-hmm. What a turn.
Now, the day before the sliced bread went on sale, the local newspaper published a glowing endorsement, and they also ran an ad calling the product the greatest forward step in the baking industry since bread was wrapped. And that copy is believed to be the origin of the phrase, the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sliced bread really took off in 1930 when the Continental Baking Company's pre-sliced Wonder Bread made its way into American homes. It was one of the first companies to sell sliced bread nationwide, which was a significant milestone for the industry and for American consumers. Because consumers initially worried that pre-sliced bread would dry out faster, Wonder Bread had to aggressively market its convenience and special Wonder Cut loaves to win over the public.
Oh,
yeah.
And how'd they do?
They did pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Good.
Before the bread slicing machine, consumers obviously had to cut the whole loaves by hand at home. The convenience of perfectly uniform, ready-to-eat slices drastically changed eating habits and made people eat more slices of bread at a time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to slice
it's so
soft
annoying.
bread?
I know.
You squish the whole thing. It's very difficult to do.
I know. So it gave a massive boost also to the fledgling pop-up toaster industry. And it also increased consumption of spreads such as jam and peanut butter to put on the bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody benefits.
In 1943, U.S. officials imposed a short-lived ban on sliced bread as a wartime conservation measure. The ban was ordered by the Secretary of Agriculture, and it took effect on January 18th of 1943. New baking regulations set by the Office of Price Administration had boosted flour prices, and the government wanted to prevent these costs from getting passed down to the consumer. By banning the use of expensive bread slicing machines, the government was hoping that bakeries could keep their prices low. And they also thought that the move would also save wax paper, because I don't know what...
Do we need
you
a lot of
needed
wax
that
paper
during wartime? I don't know.
Sure.
But also tons of alloyed steel used to make the bread slicing machines. Now, that sort of makes sense.
Makes more sense.
But as you can imagine, the decision was very unpopular. And less than 2 months later, On March 8th of 1943, the ban was rescinded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want our sliced bread, everybody.
While public outcry is generally credited for the reversals, officials also stated that the savings weren't really as much as they expected, and it turned out they had plenty of wax paper to go around after all. So.
Right. That's
No
good.
worries.
Wax paper, everybody,
Yeah,
and then
that's
sliced
right.
bread, too.
And today, the original bread slicing machine
Where is it?
can be found in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C.
They took it from Davenport,
They did.
Iowa. It's in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
It's right there.
All right. I don't think
Yeah.
people will appreciate that machine if they see it.
Probably not.
Unless they've heard this Wiki Corner
That's
right
right.
now.
Now
All
they
you
will.
picked out a record to go along with sliced bread, did you, Sarah?
Yeah, so we're going to play Bread and Butter by the New Beats.
We'll do it. Sarah, thank you so much.
He likes bread and butter.
Well, there you go. Greatest thing since sliced bread. My dad called me during the Wiki Corner. I hope he's not. Hope he didn't hear me talking about making fun
Maybe
of
he
him.
did. He was like, "What the heck? Why are you telling my personal business on the radio?"
Could have happened to anybody.
That's funny.
That's fascinating about
Now,
sliced bread.
Yeah, when I said what I was talking about to you today, you said, "No, you're not."
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I said, what? Because I have to find the pictures, and
Yeah.
you said sliced bread, and I thought you're pulling my leg.
Yeah, you were like you doubted me.
And you said you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, I said it's going to be interesting. I feel like that happens all the time.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I just can't believe sliced bread was such a recent.
Right?
Like there's people here, not in the building necessarily, but people alive, plenty of them,
Yeah.
who would have been alive when there was no sliced bread.
I get annoyed at so sometimes I buy like the fancy bread in the bakery section at Wegmans.
Nobody's surprised about that.
And I get annoyed if there's none of the pre-sliced.
Now, why
available.
do people get the non-pre-sliced? Like I bought it before, but
Well, so you
pretty
can
much-
control how thick the slices are, I
Oh
suppose.
yeah, you really want the? How thick do you
Part
want?
of it
Like,
to
is that
me.
really that important?
Wes says, Sarah's Wiki Corner is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Oh,
Well, isn't that nice?
that is nice and true. All right, stand by. Here we go.
With some other man. No more bread and butter.
Those are the New Beats and bread and butter. Sarah, do you remind us why did we just play that on Legends 1027?
Well, because we were talking about sliced bread. Because sliced bread first went on sale on this day in 1928.
You got it. Let's recap 3 things we must take away from today's Wiki Corner. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready, go.
All right, a jeweler invented the bread slicing machine.
That's kind of a curveball. By
Yes.
1933, around 80% of bread sold in the U.S. was pre-sliced.
And sliced bread was once banned for a short time during World War II.
Now, can I ask you, the bread machine inventing guy, the
Yeah.
jeweler who put all his finances on the line for
Yeah.
this thing, did he end up making a lot of money?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Really?
But I don't really think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this. I wonder if he hadn't. You ever wonder this? If that person had invented that thing then?
Yeah. How long would it have taken?
Because if all the other bakers were skeptical, and it took a jeweler to step into the baking industry to say,
Yeah.
no, we can do this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
we'd probably have it by now.
I
Like
would
Elon Musk
hope
would have
so,
come up with
right?
something, right?
I know, but imagine like how many other things would have been like the
Delayed,
toaster,
right? You're right, the toaster. The jam industry,
The-
Smuckers.
peanut butter.
Eesh.
I mean, Jif.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. It's too much. Folks want to learn more about sliced bread, Sarah, and I can't imagine there's much more to know, but where do they go? What do they do?
You can go to my wiki blog. If you go to legends1027.com on the homepage, there's a link that takes you to my blog where I post everything I talk about every day.
You got it. Plus, every day at 410 on Facebook, we stream this live along with pictures. And today, you saw some doozies of sliced bread. I'll be honest.
Not the most exciting.
Will you stop? Will you stop? The whole thing's thrilling.
Okay.
Plus, you can catch the archives at YouTube. Search out Sarah's Wiki Corner channel. Be sure to subscribe to post new material. And do watch on Facebook and Instagram for our little reels, as Sarah likes to call them. Little
Yeah.
mini Wiki
That's what
Corner
they're called.
recaps. I know. Also, thank you so much for coming in today. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And everybody has appreciation for sliced bread now.
You should.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Traffic and weather coming up. The legendary Drive at 5. Oh, and a bad dad joke of the day today, just before 5 o'clock. Do not miss that. All right, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in today.
Well, thanks for watching.
When you have some sliced bread, by the way, why can't they slice Thomas's English muffins?
Probably because of the nooks and crannies.
Nobody's made a machine to do that.
It's probably the nooks and crannies.
They get in the
that
way.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it all. I cut those.
But they're easy to split? Are
They
they
are.
not?
But I cut them, but then like I'll how do I in my hand I take it and I cut, and then I get to the end with the butter. I cut the last little bit, and then I take it, and there's always like just a ton of crumbs in my hand. I do it over the sink, and then I do this over the sink with my hand. I feel like I'm losing not a whole bite, but I'm missing some of the insides of my Thomas's English
I don't have
muffin.
to tell you.
All right. We need a jeweler to look into that. Get J. William Jewelers on that right away.
Just the nooks.
Just the nooks, please.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.